Hello everyone, Lisa Thomas, Executive Director with BNI Melbourne North, and today on Network Success Northside Notables, we are with Tristan from Forefront IT. Hi Tristan.
Hello. Hi.
So Tristan, you're new to your industry,
Mm-hmm.
but you're having some great success. So do you want to share with us a little bit about what you're doing
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
how you're making a difference?
Yeah, absolutely. Forefront IT is the passion project between myself and my husband. We now have reached just a year old.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really excited. We're still kicking. We're growing, and we're just new things every day. I would say what makes us, I guess, a bit different is we're really trying to be a personalized approach to your technology. I feel a lot of people when they reach out, they're seeking the solution and the fix, and then they move on. Where we want to go a bit further than that. We want to build a relationship and look at how we can help integrate ourselves into your business as your tech friend and advisor, and just help you get long-term success growing as well. But we do the fixes as well, which we do really well. But yeah, just helping the business really find its footing and grow just like we are, and bring our knowledge to the table.
Yep. And what do you do in the business?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I am the face of the business. So I call myself the tech translator. So basically, I come in, and where our lovely technical people give us the fixes and the plans, I translate it so people that don't know what they're saying can understand. Because it can be a bit daunting when you're talking to IT people when they're saying big words like endpoint root user issue, or access controls. I can say, this is what it means. And I kind of sit next to you and kind of make you feel comfortable and understanding.
Yep. So what were you doing before you jumped into business
Yeah.
with your husband?
I kind of make the joke that I've lived 100 lives, even though I'm relatively still young. I've had all kinds of jobs all over the place. I used to be a photographer's assistant at a fashion photography studio. I was an intern at Walt Disney World doing marketing. I worked at Tesla Motors doing electric cars. I've been all over the place. And then now I'm bringing my tools of connection, I guess, into the tech space.
Okay. And how do you find working with your husband? Because some people love it and some people find it quite difficult.
Yeah, it's very much it's fantastic. Honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's definitely, I think, helped us with our communication skills within the relationship and in business wise. There are some moments where it's like I have to get out of this house. I'm scratching the walls, but it's really great, and I really think it's a testament to a great relationship as well. Because if you can not only have personal time, but then work together and build something together, it just makes you stronger, I think, as well.
Yep.
And it's exciting for us because it shows that we're developing something that can be for our family, and really building something that's worthwhile.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fantastic. And so what are the sort of clients, your ideal clients or clients that you're looking for?
Yeah. So our kind of main targets, or who we work really well with, are small to medium sized businesses that are in kind of four main sectors. So it's the legal, the medical, financial, and like real estate areas. So think of smaller, like a GP's office, or like a family lawyer. Have a couple of staff, but they wouldn't have their own personal in-house IT team. So we then can jump in and kind of be that team for them. And then we're experts at compliance and security. So we make sure that all of your accreditations or your regulations are met. And it just things that you don't have to worry about. You can focus on other things in your business. As you know, as a business owner, there's 5 million things
Yes.
so it's one less thing on the plate that we can manage for you.
Yep. Okay. And so what's been your biggest win so far? Because I know that
Yeah.
you're fairly new with it. So what's happened that you've been most excited about?
Yeah. Well, it's I think a really great thing with us is we're currently getting into those targeted industries. Whereas before, being a bit of an outsider, it's how do we get into that space? And now having connections and being able to get into that space, we've now started having these conversations, and we're getting into the rooms and having these opportunities to pitch ourselves. And so we're not only speaking to smaller businesses, but even larger entities are coming up and are curious on what we can do. So we're talking to people that we didn't expect to be talking to for probably at least another year or another 2 years. So it's a bit scary, but then it's also really exciting because it's happening. We're seeing it happen before our eyes, and every day it's just like, wow, like this is a thing. It started from us just sitting in the park, writing notes on a piece of paper saying, we could do this and it would be awesome. And then, a year later, here we are.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you've had a bit of experience in marketing and sales. And one of the things that I find with business owners is that they're usually really good at what they do, but they all hate sales. They don't want to be a salesperson. So what sort of tips and tricks could you give for our listeners that might really hate sales, but know that they have to do it?
Yeah, I 100% get that. I am not a salesy person myself. Typically, I'm very much, I'm just like, oh, the thought of it. When I started working at Tesla, actually, it was a sales role, and I was like, there's no way I can do this. But I actually learned from it that it's not so much about selling; it's more about informing, I think, and just showing and just connecting. I think, especially with our line of business, we need you to feel comfortable to want to work with us. So we're a very trusting kind of industry in handling people's sensitive data. So it's really sitting down and saying, what questions do you have that I can answer for you? Like, how can I make you feel comfortable and understood? So I think it's being intentional with the time and the interactions you're having with people. So, making sure that they are comfortable and aware, and that you're just making them understand that you're not just here as a business, but you're here as a support for them. And I think that's my approach. They say, personal and business don't mix. I disagree sometimes. I think mixing them makes really great long connections that last for years.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. So you're a very recent member of BNI, and you've gone straight into the top 10. So congratulations in the whole region.
Thank you.
So well done in that. So tell us a little bit about your experience with BNI, and what are the things that you've enjoyed most of so far?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny that you say that we're coming in, because my biggest apprehension of joining BNI was I'd heard, it has a really good reputation, but I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm qualified for this. I was a bit nervous, and I was like, oh, I'm a little bit younger than most business owners or members that are in the groups. And so I was like, oh, I don't know if I have much to bring to the table. They're going to kick me out after a month because I won't meet the requirements. But I came into it open. A friend invited me in. They're like, hey, see what it's about. See if you like it. And I'm the kind of person where I'm always open to trying things. So jumped in, and I was like, wow, like I really love just the structure and the intent. Everyone there, I think, shares the same passion and drive for what they do. And so, one of the big things is we talk about connecting. It's easy to connect to like-minded people. So everyone has that same intensity. So it really helped me foster a sense of just lighting a fire and just wanting to go out there. And so my main job is to do this. And so I just hit the ground running. I said, all right, what are the targets? I said, what do we have to do? And I just got straight to it. And I don't know, I love it personally. It's been great. Our one requirement, or one of the requirements, is you need to have like a one-to-one. I've had like 9 in a week because I just love going out and meeting, different members and talking. And so I don't see it as work. Honestly, I see it. It's a joy. It's fun. So.
Well, we had our one-to-one, when was that, on Tuesday?
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
And I really enjoyed it. You have just such a bubbly personality, but you also really share your joy in what you do. So I'm glad that you're enjoying being part of BNI. So have you got a specific networking story that you could share with us, or something that you'd like to share with everybody?
So I guess a story. I kind of touched on it is when I was, debating on joining BNI.
Yep.
I think one of my advantages in a way is coming into it with such a fresh perspective, as being a new business owner. I see some people that have had businesses for a while are a bit hesitant to make change because they either are stuck in their ways or they're just a bit nervous that they are going to lose what they've built up. So I think one of the great things that we talk about in our group is just trying new things and testing what works. And so, every week I'm trying a different kind of pitch to see what's going on. I'm testing the grounds, or in my one-on-ones, I do different approaches to talk about, what would you recommend? Or I'm always asking for feedback and growth. So I see it as not just an opportunity to share yourself, but also to learn and grow, because you have all of these experts in one room. Reap the benefits, like ask questions, and then by then getting their expertise, you also then learn more about them, and it helps you to then be able to, refer or to just have a better insight of your community. So, yeah.
That's great. So I've asked everybody so far, what sort of tips would you give to another business owner that was listening to this? Is there any sort of recommendations that you'd make, or what would be your expert tip for people?
Yeah. I guess if we're going about it from an IT tech perspective, just that this might sound a little salesy, but no time is the right time like the present, to always take a look at what your systems are doing, or, to start planning. I think a lot of people sometimes can leave their tech to the last minute, and then or they just kind of put things together and then they're like, oh, I'll deal with it later. So that's one of those things where, we can always sit down and figure it out and make a strategy. And then if it comes into just personal for a business, I'd say, you've already taken a risk to start a business. Get out there and make yourself uncomfortable and keep pushing it, because you're going to find success in it. If you love what you do and you're passionate about it and you're looking to create that growth, like, it's going to come.
Now, we touched on this a little bit the other day when we caught up, but cybersecurity and you've got some horror stories there that you were sharing.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things where our approach has been, how do we share the news without fear mongering? Because I can tell you some blood curdling stories as a business owner. With the way that it's changing. You're seeing the advancements just come like month after month. There's just new things coming out. So it's our job, I guess, is to kind of be a safeguard against what's going on. I like to use the analogy of that we're almost like a security company for your house. So think of your data as your contents inside your house, and your website's your house. We're your armed guard that's kind of patrolling around and making sure that all the windows and doors are locked, and that they can't find their way in. But I think a misconception is that smaller to medium-sized businesses think that, oh, they're not going to be after me. I'm too small to be noticeable. When actually it's the other way around. They're looking at those guys because typically there's no processes set. And so it's kind of like leaving your house unlocked. So they're trying the doors. So the great thing about that, it's really easy to fix it. So like, if anyone out there, if you're like, oh my gosh, like it's super fine. It's super easy. And it happens to all of us. Like, all of us have been in that stage at one point where we have to get things changed or fixed. So I would say just take a look, see what's going on, do regular health checks. And then if you have questions, reach out to someone you know and trust. Could be us, could be anybody, but yeah.
I love that analogy of it's your house and they're trying to get in and you've got to make sure that it's safeguarded. I think just the way that you speak is Well, everybody understands that, and and I'm sure that there's so many business people that have had interactions with IT companies, and
You're
they're
like,
sort of sitting
what?
there scratching their head, going, "Oh my God, what did he just say?" Whereas you've made it so easy to understand. So that's fantastic. So at the end of each podcast, we ask everybody to share the business book or the podcast that they've really enjoyed or they've had an aha moment with. So have you got something that you'd like to share?
Yeah, well, it's gonna just sound like we're promoting the same thing over and over, but the B&I podcasts themselves are fantastic. I actually, on my daily trip to the or weekly trip to the grocery store, I will pop in the AirPods and I get about an hour's worth done then and there. And it's really fascinating listening just to the different approaches that people take. So learning how to fine tune doing your elevator pitches, stop wasting time introducing yourself when your name's on a board behind you. Get right into what you're talking about, hook people in. So I think a lot of what I've been able to do in the last couple of months have just come from absorbing in a lot that I'm seeing from that. So I would definitely recommend, and anyone can listen to those too. You don't have to be a part of B&I. They're on Spotify, so jump in, listen to it, and there's a lot of really great people that have a lot of experience to give. So yeah.
Well, congratulations on your first year in business. So well done with that. And I believe just with the attitude that you have and how you're going about your business, I'm sure that you guys are going to be in business for many years to come.
Thank you.
So thank you, Tristan, for being on the show today. And we look forward to hearing bigger and better things.